The dentist is on the way. I'm going to need everybody to hide back here on the dance floor and on that side of the wall. When Dennis comes in, of course, we're going to all yell surprise, and then we're going to sing happy birthday to him. So when they're going to call before they leave Ellenville, which means that'll give us 20 minutes. 10 minutes after the call, we're all going to start hiding, either behind this wall or behind here. All right? I'll announce this again for anybody who didn't hear me in a little while. Carry on. Surprise and happy birthday. Happy birthday, Dennis. We got you. We got you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Dennis. Happy birthday to you. Yeah. All right. Drum of applause for the birthday boy. Hey Dennis, did you expect it? Not at all, huh?
socks. Oh, goodness gracious. Thanks, dear. Hey, kiddo. You know what I was thinking today? I said, Al Lunning is around. We should have him come over for dinner. Over what hill? James Wall. Yeah, I got my button here.
Give me the button, Dennis.
Old Farts Club.
Right here, Dennis.
Old Farts Club.
It's the same.
Sarah. I have a big story to tell you later.
Diane says she's very sorry she couldn't make it. She just came last week from Hong Kong, or else she would have been there. Actually, tomorrow is her granddaughter never went first.
Vicky, how are you? Thanks, very, very much. Socks! Where's my sock bag? Hey, cousin. Thank you, Al. I've had a long walk. Good job. What's your name? Thank you, Al. Unbelievable. Did you know? When I called you last week, you knew this? And I want you to know, at 50, it's still good. I tried it. Dirt bags. Did you bring me a cheesecake?
Well, you thought.
How long have you known about that? Thanks, Paul. Thank you. James Walsh?
Hey, you got a kiss here, yo.
All right. You knew it. I'm embarrassed. I'm taking a cut of your hands. Read the card. I can't believe this. I was packing today. I says to Gladys, God damn it, I need socks. I will. I will.
All right, old time, buddy.
Right. 50-year-old.
Hey, I hear you need
I need socks. I don't want sex. Mary's my sock person. Hello, man. How are you? A whole crew, huh? A whole crew. There's your little brother. So? Oh, here's the pictures. I got pictures I want to get. Oh, you got them. You got them. Thank you. So when I get where we're at, we're still in the camera shot. Right here. My oldest, we're like buddies for 100 years. We used to have black hair. Jack, thank you very, very much. Thank you. Now go build us a new school. What's this? I hear you killed Kennedy. You know, he killed Johnson. It's a long story. Where am I?
Hello, Harvey.
be Dennis Conroy's 50th anniversary party. And there he is, the man himself, 1 year closer to death. Oh, you didn't tape that, did you?
Yes, I am a product of heat. I am the son of my father. Oh my. So is he. Hi, Dad.
Anywhere, it's not an email.
The mic a little closer to your mouth.
Thanks everyone for being here. Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay. I couldn't have done that without Mary and Bobby Lawrence. They did all the work because I was trying to hide this from Danny. So please give Mary and Bobby a round of applause. There's a couple of things I want to share with you tonight about Danny.
Clean underwear on.
I'm going to try to tell you all the things I want to. I don't know if I'm going to forget half of them, but I'm going to try. On August 25th, 1978, I married the Conroy family. That was Jimmy, Dennis, and Kelly. A couple of days after the wedding, Kelly says, "Remember when we got married?" I said, "Yes, I do." It's been a long and bumpy road since then. But over the curves and through the bumps and all of this, I have learned a couple of things about Dennis that I want to share with you tonight. Soon after I married Dennis, he met my father. He told my father that he didn't have a lot to offer me, but as long as I was married to him, I would have a roof over my head, a meal on the table, and clothes on my back. That's what his father taught him, and he lived by that. Then he had given us that and a lot more, and for that I'm grateful. Then he has embraced my country, my people, and my culture without prejudices and with an open mind. And for the ability to do that, I admire him very much. Then he brought 2 more children into my life, which made my work a lot more exciting, challenging, and interesting. In my eyes, Dennis is a very good father. He loved his children, he cared for them, he provided for them, and he worried about them. And Dennis tried to teach his children the things that he believes are important in life. Let's see. I can't see. Well, I keep...
Good father.
Okay. Then he shines the most when I'm sick. I'm sure all of you know that I have a chronic illness with rheumatoid arthritis, and it flares up many times during these 16 years. And then he had taken excellent care of me. And I tease him because he loves it when I'm sick, because it's the only time he has any control over me. Then he has become a professional photographer, and I'm very proud of his work. He makes me look very pretty in pictures, and I even have my own portfolio. Then he studied on his own and listened to Bill Bressner, has learned a lot about the financial world, and for that, my future and my family is a lot more secure, and I'm grateful to Dennis for that. I have seen Dennis done very well in his career. He's respected and supported by the people he worked for and the people that work for him, and I'm proud of him. When I was a young woman looking for a husband, my mother used to say, if you want to know if a guy is going to be a good husband, find out what kind of a son he is. In my eyes, my husband is a great son. I have seen Dennis exhausted, tired, and frustrated day after day taking care of his ailing mother. That wonderful woman that gave him life and that cannot be here tonight to celebrate with us is Josephine Conroy, my mother-in-law. And to end, I want to say that Dennis made possible for me the greatest miracle of all, and that's for me to be a mother to my son Michael. Michael is an exact replica of Denny, his character and personality, his voice, and Denny would say his looks also. So for those things and a lot more, I would invite you to celebrate Denny's life with me tonight. Dennis, I'm duly impressed. P.S. If you want to know any bad things about Dennis, see me later.
All right, let's have it. At this time, I'm going to invite all the couples up to the dance floor to join in this dance. All the couples. Applause for Jim.
Thank you, thank you.
Come on, next time, I'll really put your hands together for him.
Because, well, my father first was teaching me how to drive. I told him I wouldn't get into the car unless I had 100% guarantee that he wouldn't yell at me. And, of course, he lied. And, and said there would be no problem. My father, yeah. Well, she's not here, and I'm not prepared for this. Dad, get off the phone, will you? Find him, tell him to go. I'm trying to... You know I can tap? Did I tell you that? No, I can... Yes. Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Show us then.
That was... Well, you know I can't really, but... Okay. This is... Do what? Impersonations. Okay. Anybody want me to impersonate?
Sammy Hagar.
Nobody knows who Sammy Hagar is. No. But you know I'll dance really slow. Yeah. All right, Robin Leach here. This is me doing Robin Leach. I have to get into character, so you just have to bear with me for a minute. Okay, I'm there.
Here we are, live at Dennis Conroy's 50th surprise birthday party. We have most of the established people in Elva here, most making a net income of $10 million. Here over here we have Joe Bronzy, famous friend of Jim Conroy. Joe has no car and no life.
Oh, ooh, my father's on long distance Hong Kong. Somebody in Hong Kong is talking to my father.
This is my lovely sister Kelly. Hello, Kelly, how are you?
Kelly's immune, so I will translate for her.
I hope not.
Kelly says hi. This is my cousin Daniel. Hey, haircut, dude. Look at that, so crispy. This is so crispy. You would think that someone with hair like this wouldn't need hairspray or mousse. Where's it gonna go? Look at that. Listen to it crunch. Yes, he does look like Velcro. Velcro. This is fine. Let's see, who else we have here in the audience today? Yeah, see how long I could look stupid till my father gets off the phone. I've said like 2 funny things since I've... okay, this is terrible. This is a tragedy. Let's do a song, because, you know, I want to leave now. Turn up the music. I'll lip sync. Moonwalking, ladies and gentlemen. Moonwalking. Here, only a Beatles man. Ah, here he is. Okay, Dad, you missed the show. This is great.
I have to tell you, I just got a phone call from Diane Stuckey. She called me from Hong Kong. She's been traveling around the United States and around the world, and she just flew into Hong Kong. She has a house there. She lives there. And she just called me to wish me happy birthday. Blew my socks right off. Unbelievable. No, I mean the phone call. You know what I mean. But I'm very, very surprised. And Sarah, she's listening. No, don't laugh. It's not funny. It could be embarrassing. But now, Sarah, listen. She says that this summer she's coming back, and you and Pat and I will all get together. We'll have a little reunion and all that without your husband.
At the pool.
At the pool, right? Okay. Yeah.
Okay, sit down.
You didn't understand what I was saying.
My father had a talk with me one time. Many talks I've had with my father, some lasting for up to 7 hours. I get a little personal here. My father and my father's father were not at all times on the best of terms. My father had told me that there were times where his dad was kind of macho and didn't want my father to tell him that he loved him. Wasn't very affectionate. Because it's a man thing. With his daughters it's one thing, but man to man it's another. And my father told me that would never happen with us, and that we always would have time for each other. And anytime I wanted to go up and kiss my dad, it was okay with him. Could be in front of 1 million people. Give him a hug. Tell him I love him. Well, I will kiss him right now, ladies and gentlemen. This is me kissing my father. I've been attending SUNY New Paltz for longer than I should have.
15 years.
About 15 years. My father comes to me, he says, so what are you going to do with your life? I said, well, I want to be an actor. And, most parents would hope that their child would say, well, I'd like to go into computer programming, or I'd like to become a lawyer, or something that guarantees some form of income. But I said, no, Dad, I want to be an actor. I want to get into the theater business. I want to make $1 million. I want to be famous. And, after the heart attack, he said, okay, go ahead and try this. One of the things, the reason I'm heavy into this theater business, and I know the odds are against me that I'll make a penny, but, well, I'm not putting myself down. I'm saying the odds are. That's the way it is. But my father said, don't sit there and be some old man and look back at your life and say, I wish I'd have at least tried something, tried to do something. Don't play it safe, And he supported me with this. And I love him so much for that, because a lot of parents probably wouldn't have supported that and would have tried to steer their child away from that. And my dad's been behind me 100%. And even if I don't make it, which is fine, I guess, I know that my father was always behind me, and that's very important to me. Because if there's one thing I can always fall back on, it's my dad when I need $20 or borrow the car, or need a place to stay, or some food. or something like that. So, Dad, thank you very much for being behind me 120%. I love you very much. I know you will, man. Because my wallet's getting a little thin. My title? Oh. What's this? Commissary clerk for Woodburn Correctional Facility. Yikes. So I'd like to I don't perform well under pressure, so I want to bring up my sister here, Kelly. And Kelly would like to say a few things about Dad. Kelly, come on up. She's taller than me, so I want to get off before you can notice that. I gotta hold the mic for her. Hold it up.
Well, everyone's making me depressed and sad here, so I came to be the funny side. I went to the mall today and I tried to find things that would remind me of my father, who is funny, he's sick, he's perverted. So, to start, the very first thing that I would like to present my father, Dad, he just always does this to us. The first thing I'd like to present my father is this game. Pin the boobs on the babe. Because every time that's his #1 topic. He loves them. So this is for you.
Thank you. Hey, Al.
Where's mine?
All right. Greg.
How come I don't get it?
He's so worried about being 50, he thinks it's so old, and I'm so proud that he's been around this long.
Considering the amount
Not a long time.
Considering the amount of peanut butter and jelly sandwiches this man has ingested,
Yeah.
thousands.
So to kind of ease him when he's feeling old, when he feels down, I bought him Stay Young anti-aging pills.
I thought they were birth control pills.
Another thing is he always asks me, he tries to always embarrass me everywhere I go. I can remember in 7th grade, it was a big thing to go over town to lunch, go to Burger King, whatever. And my father, before Halloween, bought this Halloween tape with ghost sounds and chains and thunder. So I'm thinking I'm great, I'm cool, I'm walking with my friends. Here comes this car with lightning and scary noises, and I'm like, who is this? I look and, hi Cal, it's your father. I'm so humiliated every time he does this to me. I have to ask him, Dad, I have friends sleep over, please calm down, be good, stay in a room, don't embarrass me. It never fails. So he always asks me, am I the coolest dad? Am I the best? And I said, yes. So I got him 2 tattoos of the wild thing, because he is so wild.
What about the time he drove around with stickers on the car saying Kelly listens to K-Light?
There's so much more enough time.
Signs on my car. I used to have to take her to school. I put big signs on the car where she couldn't see it. It says Kelly Conroy listens to WLV.
And this is the last thing. It's kind of embarrassing. I don't know how many of you are fortunate to, what's the word, to...
Sleep?
No, to...
Do drugs?
No. Anyway. My father has a gas problem. Every time I had friends sleep over, I have to share this with everyone.
Wait, come here. Really
He
impressive.
would be downstairs sleeping, and I know every morning my father wakes up. You can hear his door screech open. You hear his stomping to the refrigerator opens, and there it goes. You can hear it on the basement floor. It's so humiliating. So, I'm sure he does it at work. So whenever he does have this accident, I bought him a fart extinguisher.
Well, gee,
There's so many things I could have bought to represent my father, but these are the funny things so that everyone can stop tearing and feel better. Plus we're broke. So, happy birthday, Dad. We love you. But for once, I humiliated him.
pack this in a car. We'll play this while we're down there.
I gotta go. Is that phone?
No. Sit down.
I'd like to bring up to the dance floor here, Mr. Dembski. Where are you at?
Right here.
Oh, there we go.
There we go.
You don't have to tap.
I didn't know this was going to be a roast. Gladys told me that I had to say something nice.
You've been 2 weeks trying to think of something.
4 weeks, Dennis.
I told her to lie.
All I can think of is all of those incidents in the past that I should tell everybody about tonight. And then my wife says if I do, I'm in real deep shit. So I can't say a word.
How about the
So,
gas? Joe?
what'd you say, Paul?
How about the gas?
Anyway,
Tear gas. The tear gas in Woodburn.
oh no, I'm not gonna tell about the tear gas. That's,
Only one.
oh, yeah, I know, only one, yeah. Dennis actually, is the only person I know that has more gray hair than me that calls me dad. Actually, we go way back. There's been a lot of things that we've done together over the years. I think we've been real good friends. My kids grew up thinking that Santa Claus was Italian. Because whenever we took the kids to see Santa Claus, it was Dennis. And then for a couple of years, it was Tony G. So everybody, the kids just, everybody, I think, thought that between those two guys, that Santa Claus was really Italian in Ellenville. Actually, we've done a couple of things for each other, too. I guess it's my fault that Dennis can see things as clearly as he can these days. A few years ago, when I first started wearing glasses, I, like Dennis, didn't have to wear them all the time, and I left them laying on my desk at work. And he came in one day, and he put the glasses on, and he says, "Holy shit, I can see what's on this paper. I didn't realize it. My eyes have gotten so bad." And ever since that day, he's been wearing glasses. He had an opportunity also to do something for me. A few years ago, I had some health problems, and I needed some blood. And Dennis and I had worked on the blood bank together for years and years. And I called Dennis from the hospital, and I told him that I needed some blood in a hurry. And the next day, there was enough blood in Westchester County, not only to do the operation that I needed, but that several small children, including a 3-week-old baby, had enough blood to do their surgery also. I trust Dennis immensely. He and my wife share a bad habit, and I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I trusted him enough to go out of town to a hypnotist several years ago for both of them to get rid of their bad habit. And they both have it back again. I don't understand it. But anyway, who's not supposed to know?
The family.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't smoke in front of the kids anymore.
Oh, I see. Okay. Anyway,
They can cure him.
just to prove that I still do trust him, I recently hired him to take pictures of my daughter's upcoming wedding. So, like I said, we've been friends for a long time. And, I can give him a kiss too.
My dad.
Hey, he's mine. I want to tell you a story about. I want to tell you a quick story about Joe and I. Years ago, I was a sergeant over in Napanock, and Joe, I don't know if you remember this, I'm sure you do. I got drunk one night. It's a rare occasion. I got drunk one night, and I had a festival the next morning, and you prison people know what I'm talking about. And I was so whacked I couldn't handle a festival, but luckily the people I was working with, they were good people, and I said, I'm going to go sleep for a while, wake me up when it's over. Well, Joe found out about it the next day or so. Joe's always been my boss. He found out about it a day or two later. He took me in the office, and I'm telling you, he ripped me, and he called me every name in the book. I thought he was going to beat me to death, for crying out loud. And then when he got all done, he yelled at me for like 45 minutes. And when he got all done yelling at me, he says, "Now what do you got to say for yourself?" I says, "You're right. I won't do that again." Well, he got so mad because he had yelled at me for 45 minutes. And at the end of 45 minutes, all I could say is, "You're right. I won't do it again." So he started yelling at me again. I says, "Wait a minute, goddammit, you were right, I was wrong, and I'm not going to do it again."
Danny has many cousins and he loves them all. And we have with us a diary that my mother-in-law wrote for Danny's first 5 years of his life, and there's entries about all his cousins. But he has a favorite one, and it's Liz, and she has something to say to him.
This is not my thing to do, and I'm just going to start it out by saying a couple of things. I'll just mention Wiki Wacky, and I'll let you take over on that when I'm finished.
No, and my children are here.
Oh, okay. Oh, it was a merry-go-round at the end of the night, wasn't it? And the other thing I'd like to remind you of is how long did it take us to get up here from Miami when we drove up? 4 days and 3 nights, or what have you. The world's longest trip from Miami, Florida. But anyway, Dan, I've been asked to do something. It's a very great honor. It's also very tough. It's a message from a very important person. Dear Dennis, happy 50th. Phew, that makes me sound old. You've reached another milestone in your life, and all because your father, God bless his soul, and I decided to let you live when you were very young and running around Dennis menacing our little town of Ellenville. Although I cannot be there with you tonight, you and Mary and Joanne, all my family and friends, are somewhere in my thoughts. And so you'll have to dance one for me and your dad. I love you. I miss you. Give Gladys a big hug for me. And now, go on with this party stuff. Happy birthday and many more, son. Love, Mom.
Hey, my mother was here. She showed you how to dance.
Right.
Whoa.
I think it's yours.
What?
Who's next?
Let's eat. When the hell are we eating?
Well, my name is also Dennis Conroy, and there's a couple out in California and in a lot of other places. But the reason I have this little gimmick here is because I'm Joanne's godfather, and I believe I was up here in Ellenville for her christening, and I saw this guy rolling around on a floor, and it was Denny, and I was saying, "What's he doing? What's he doing here?" He was looking up the girls' dresses. So I brought him this cane with a mirror. Hey, you're welcome to it, Danny. The funny part was that in those days, the girls' skirts were about halfway to the tail.
So I worked the tables.
The
flies open.
You're welcome to it. If you get to it before I do, you're welcome to it.
What's the whistle for?
Huh?
Is there any
Is he being robbed?
Dennis Conroy is the only member of Dennis' side of his father family who's here tonight, and we're very happy with that. And he's here with his wife. Welcome. Okay, we're done. Let's eat and dance.